This is Eldred's Song of Seraphim, and I'm here with another cube draft. So actually, this is a pretty exciting pack. So here, you might not be able to see it very well, but this is a Jace the Mind Sculptor. It's not showing up because it's got a comma in its name, and for some reason this browser doesn't like that. But so the choices really here comes down to Jace the Mind Sculptor is the card I'm probably going to pick up. But also, though, there's some pretty sweet green cards, Troll Ascetic, Wolfold Primus, Maelstrom Pulse, and there's also some decent black cards. Ren Flesh is an awesome removal, plus Kokosho. So I imagine green and black are going to be pretty high out of this pack. In terms of blue, though, it's just really, I mean, it's pretty empty for blue except for Jace the Mind Sculptor, so that's actually pretty good for me. So I'm going to take this first pick, Jace the Mind Sculptor, and pass. Alright, so this is interesting. So there are a few cards in here that are pretty sweet. Well, let's see. There's some decent blue cards, I guess, in the form of Repeal and Cancel, but not, I don't think, second pick material. There are some decent white cards, I guess. Decree is not bad, Angel is not bad, and Achroma is a pretty sweet card. Though, that said, I think probably the best card in this pack is maybe Red Sun Zenith. It's a solid card, very good removal, and really I don't think there's anything here that we could do it like couldn't just get later. And blue-red's not a bad color, so I'm gonna go ahead and try to do that and pick up Red Sun Zenith and then see what we get past later. Alright, so decent cards. Steel Hellkite, Blood Braid, the ones that are popping out. Arc Lightning is quite good. Balance is also quite good. Let's see. If you do blue, green, and red, it's not exactly a supported color. So probably not a good idea to try to branch into that. And we definitely want to play blue for Jace the Mind Sculptor. So really, I think the choices comes down to picking up some kind of like burn spell. So I guess really Arc Lightning, Steel Hellkite. I think Steel Hellkite's probably stronger, so I'm gonna go ahead and grab that. Ooh, I was thinking about this card. Nicole Bolas Planeswalker. I'm gonna grab it, and we're gonna play Grixis. That's what we're gonna do. We've got the blue and we got the black. Or we got the red. The thing is, though, there are some sweet blue cards in here. Bribery is awesome. It's tempting just to... This wasn't the first, what is it, the fourth pick? If it wasn't the fourth pick, I might go ahead and pass on Nicole Bolas. But I feel like, though, this is early enough that somebody else could grab him and move into this color. So I'm going to go ahead and take Nicole Bolas, and then hopefully not... I mean, I'm also obviously passing some signals here about blue. It's kind of unfortunate because I did pass a lot of sweet blue cards. Alright, so we've got the next pick here. So, we decided that we're going to stay away from green, so we're looking at blue, red, and black. In terms of cards here that are sweet, I think I'd prefer to take Consuming Vapors here, and just pass this Burst Lightning. And yeah, that's it. Not much to say about that. So, got our 3 colors we're working on here, and hopefully we can get enough for each to make it worthwhile. Good thing about Nicole Bolas, though, I guess if we had to, we could just play him without the black, though it would be considerably harder. Or the red, one of the other colors, I guess. But Red Sun Zenith is definitely worth splashing for. Okay. So, our options here. I particularly like either Firebolt or Into the Royal are our choices here. Into the Royal might be better just to cut off blue, but I think in terms of removal is what we really want here. And I think Firebolt is more efficient at doing that. Though this is a tough one, I think. I'm not exactly sure which one's better, but I think Firebolt just get more value out of it. Alright, so I have a Crumbling Necropolis here that maybe we'll get back. would be nice. But here I think I'm just gonna go ahead and take this Rin Flesh, a good removal spell. Very, very solid, and kills nearly everything. I don't think we're gonna be encountering very many spirit creatures, so this should be able to take care of most threats we have to face. Alright, so if we're gonna go with a more control-ish build, might as well take this cancel and be a kind of control-ish type deck. That seems like a good enough plan. Because so far, we've only got one creature, so we're mostly just kind of control here with creature removal and card advantage effects. That said, let's take a look at some of these other creatures here. So in terms of power, Stigma Lash is not impressive, neither is Curd Ape. Skirk Marauder, probably the best card here, just because of its removal. And seems like a decent pick here over, I mean, I guess the other option would be the Dauntless Slayer. It's a bit heavy on the black, and I prefer to take a card that's a bit easier to play, especially in a 3-color deck like this. Well, looks like nobody's in blue. So this is a tough one, because all these cards are sweet. Gilded Drake's good. Bribery's also very good. I think probably I'll take the Bribery. This is tough. Bribery's heavy blue, so it might come back. So that means we could take another one of these, like Fact or Fiction or Gilded Drake. Gilded Drake probably is the better pick here. And maybe we'll get Bradbury back. Not 100% on that, but we'll see. Alright, I guess here, not really anything for us. Let's go ahead and take, I guess this ramp spell would be helpful to somebody. Necrotic Sliver, don't want anybody using that. And also we got the Necropolis back, which is sweet. Let's go ahead and take a, because a Paradise Plume is fine. And let's see what else we get for our last pick. And Jungle Shrine. So maybe that last pick wasn't so intelligent after all. But that was then. This is now. So let's see. Alright, so cards I definitely like in here. Isochron Scepter seems like it's awesome. Avalanche Rider seems pretty good. This figure is obviously pretty good. Let's see what I have in terms, though, of things that I can take advantage with the Scepter. There's Firebolt. And that's really about it, actually. I mean, there's possible we could get some more low-cost spells, but I think maybe it'd just be better to take a Sower of Temptation out of this pack. Yeah, I like that. It's probably the strongest card in there, so might as well snatch it up. Alright, so choices here really comes down to, I think I'd like to take a Lightning Bolt out of this pack. Don't really have any artifacts to sack to the Tinker. And I'm not even sure what artifact I'd want to pick up to take advantage of that. So I think I'd rather just take, like I said, the Lightning Bolt here for some removal. Alright. So, ooh, a few choices. So, cards I like in this pack. I like Murderous Redcap, I like Shriekmaw, and I like Stagger Shock. The Redcap is nice, but I think Shriekmaw probably will be better in this kind of deck. Easier to play, cheaper also. And I think I'll like that pick here. Alright, so... the Efreet's good, but I think I'll just prefer to have the card draw from Muldrifter, actually. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab that. Alright, so in this pack, actually there's not much for this deck. It might just be worth it to either pick up a Crystal Ball or a Watery Grave. I think here I'm actually going to take a Crystal Ball. Seems like it might be good for late game stuff. Because if I had a choice, I'd rather have like its Sensei's Divining Top or something like that. And maybe that Watery Grave will actually come back and that'll help fix our mana a bit better. Alright, so we've got the next pick. And this is actually pretty interesting. White looks pretty good, but also Mana War and Distress. Mana War is good, but I feel like Distress might be better. 2 mana for a discard spell, some hand disruption. Yeah, I think I might try that card. I actually haven't played it yet, so it might be good just to give it a shot. Right here, nothing I really want. The Wildfire could be interesting. I think that's worth picking up. Don't think I'll be able to main deck it, but it's something to consider. Alright, here. I guess Arcane Denial's the pick. I still don't think I want to Tinker. It's because I don't have any artifacts to pull out. Rakdos Signet might not be bad later on, and see whether we get that back. Alright, so really nothing here except for this Hedge Mage. And we can use that to destroy artifacts, so still not very good. Mind Stone might not be a bad card. It's a tough one, but I think probably Mind Stone will be better in the deck. Alright, so here we have the choice of a Serendib Efreet and a Marsh Flitter. I think I'd rather have the Marsh Flitter. It's better for a long-term game, I think. Well, then again, that is a 3/4 flyer. The Efreet's probably better. Alright, so we did get back the Watery Grave, so that's awesome. We'll take that and be pretty happy about that. And here, we have the option of either a Fume Spitter, a Marauder, or an Arcane Sanctum. The Sanctum might be good, just because it does have 2 of the colors, sort of like another dual land. But Fume Spitter, that's a tough one. Fume Spitter might not be that good. Neither is a Kill the Marauder, so maybe the land just is the better choice. Alright, so let's go ahead and take this Nether Void. That might actually be playable. I'm not sure. I've never used Nether Void before or seen anybody use it yet in the cube. Let's Tinker. No one. Maybe we'll pick up like a big artifact pack 3, like a Mirror Battlesphere. But anyway, Nether Void. Haven't seen anybody play it yet. Maybe it'll be good. Okay, well, speaking of big artifacts, let's take a look at everything we have. Yawgmoth's Will. Play cards in the graveyard as though they were in my hand. That's a sweet card. Not sure whether I want to pick it up now or later. Because the other choice would be like a Sundering Titan. I don't think someone's going to grab the Sundering Titan, so maybe it would be just a better idea to grab this Yawgmoth's Will. It seems like a strong card, and it'll let me get back some of the things that I've used. But I'm not sure. Yeah, I mean, I think it looks like a good card. good late game card, especially for a control deck that wants to expend a lot of its stuff. Alright, so we've got Bone Shredder, Brain Geyser, and Callous Oppressor. Another good card I really like is Solemn Simulacrum. And I'm almost tempted just to grab that guy. Because he's good. I mean, he's good for mana fixing. And it's also a very good value card. And he'll be good in our deck because really the 3 colors will... it won't be a problem to play him. So really I think it's between him, this Oppressor, Bone Shredder. I mean, those 3 cards are really what's drawing my attention, and I think it'll be safer in the long run. Let's go ahead and grab this guy, and he's the likeliest to disappear. If people know what they're doing. So, wow, there's a lot of cards in here that we want. Brainstorm is sweet. Complicate is also very good. I think probably gone ahead and grab the Complicate just so we can have a little bit more permission and leave out the Brainstorm. Because we already have a Jace the Mind Sculptor to do that if we need the kind of effect. And maybe it'll come back around, but I don't know. It's hard to tell. Alright, so there's Sensei's Divining Top. And that really also is the only card really we can play in our deck besides maybe this Hearth Kami, but the Divining Top is definitely awesome. That's going to replace the what's it called? The Orb. The Crystal Ball. A very controlish card. Sort of like a Brainstorm. Almost. Except better, I think. Okay, so here it seems pretty clear, the pick. Well, actually, then again, perhaps not. So there are a few cards here that are just amazing. There's Duress, Shadow Mage Infiltrator, Greyborn Muse, Drana, Colostria, Bloodchief. And really the 2 cards that are standing out to me are the Infiltrator and the Colostria Bloodchief. This card will just win games on its own. That said, the Infiltrator is quite good. But I think I'm going to have to take the Bloodchief because we do need at least some way to win the game in the end. Though I think, Nicole Bolas, Steel Hellkite, those all qualify. I think I'd rather have a low drop actually, so I guess I'll just take the Infiltrator. I don't think the other card's going to come back, and I think probably the Infiltrator wouldn't come back either, unless no one else is in these 2 colors, which it's possible. And let's see what we've got. So we've got a Psionic Blast, which is pretty good. Prophetic Bolt actually seems like it's pretty sweet. We've got Vidalcan Shackles. That won't be that good in this deck because we're playing 3 colors. It's more of a mono blue type deck. So for that reason, I guess I'm divided between Electrolyze and Prophetic Bolt. I think the Bolt overall is probably a bit better. So I'm going to go ahead and grab that. Okay, here, Sunring Titan's still in. That would be a pretty good Tinker target. So I'm going to go ahead and grab that. Okay, Brain Geyser comes back. And I guess at this point that's worth picking up. Then again, Pyroclasm seems like it might be a better card to have. So I'm going to go ahead and take that, just in case. Ooh, okay, so a good controlish card obviously would be Lightning or Terminate. Either one of these would be good. In fact, any of this removal would be sweet, but I think Lightning probably better for hand disruption. We need some of that. This deck is shaping up to be decent, though it's hard to tell until we actually put it together. Because it could just the mana base could totally fall apart, or the converted mana cost. It's a bit hard to organize all that stuff here to look at it in total, but we'll see what happens when we start actually putting it together. But it looks sweet. I've got to say, the cards that we picked up are very powerful. Alright, so not really worried about enchantment removal or artifact removal, especially. Probably just go ahead and take this Mold Shambler. Don't want anybody playing that card. Alright. And our options are Graveborn Muse, maybe Manic Vandal. Kind of like the Muse here. I'm not sure whether we'll be able to play it because I'm not sure, like I said, what the curve looks like, but it's a very good card to get some card advantage from. Alright, so we end up getting some of these cards back. I think out of these cards, the 4 damage is nice from the Sonic Blast, but I think the Electrolyze probably is more efficient for what it does. So I'm going to go ahead and grab that. And really, the Sonic Blast is really for blue decks that can't get damage in any other way. And may have got plenty of removal here. Here, Psychotog, pretty awesome card. And may end up with some extra land. And here, Carnophage looks nice. And it's Signet. And that's the draft. So, I will be taking these cards into Magic Online, putting the deck together, and then battling against the other guys that are playing the cube draft with me from my clan. So, I will see you guys in deck building. Until then. Alright, so here is the deck, or the cards that I've got to work with here. So let me answer this real quick. 40 card minimum. And see whether we can actually get through here. Alright, so let's pull in Denial, Guild Drake, Complicate, Cancel, Jace, Sower, Mole Drifter, and those are all very solid blue cards, which I'd like to be able to play. See, Shriek Maw, Swimming Vapors, Ren Flesh, solid cards. Zenith, Firebolt, those are all good. See, I want to play the Nicole Bolas for sure. Shadow Mage is just too awesome to pass. See, Electrolyze is going to get in, and Lightning is going to get in. Right, so that's 17. Let's pull in the Solemn Simulacrum, Sensei's Divining Top. And let's go ahead and, I guess, pull in the 2 big artifacts and throw in Tinker. So that's 23. There's my converted mana cost. Not too bad looking, actually. And let's see what else we've potentially got here. So don't want to play that. Mind Stone potentially, though that's not exactly great. Prophetic Bolt still pretty decent. That's 23. And I think I'm okay with that. Yawgmoth's Will, don't think really worth bringing in. Let's take a look at color. So we're more heavy blue than we are anything else. So, playing 17, and we want to bring in the Watery Grave, the Necropolis, and the Arcane Sanctum, which means we have currently 3 blue sources and 3 black sources and 1 red source, which is about right, actually. So let's go ahead and add some land. So you need 17 land. Let's think here. I guess 10 blue sources, so bring in what? We already have 3, so bring in 7 islands, and we'll start with that, and then we'll figure out the rest of the numbers when we get there. So let's bring in some Scars lands. I like playing with the newest sets lands. Alright, so bring in 7 islands, and we need to have 7 more land. So let's bring in 4 swamp, which means we really have 4, 5, 6, 7 black sources, and I guess 3 mountains. So we have 4 red sources. Yeah, I guess that seems okay. That seems okay. Probably the best it's gonna get. I guess one thing I could do is just bring down the blue, but I do need blue for the cancel, the soar, the Jace. So our mana might be a little bit tight in some places, but I think otherwise it's reasonable enough. So that's the deck, and we're going to go with that. And looks like it'll be pretty solid. I like the way it shaped up. So anyway, that's the deck, and I will see you in the matches.